Hello. Today I'm going to talk about viscosity. Viscosity is a measure of a fluid's resistance to flow or to deform. It is the internal friction or thickness of a fluid which determines how easily it flows when subjected to an external force. Fluids with high viscosities flow more slowly and are more resistant to deformation, while fluids with low viscosities flow more easily and are less resistant to deformation. I have chosen to use water, and this will be my control. I also have alcohol with an even lower viscosity than water, and I have honey with a higher viscosity than both. I have measured each liquid to be 150 milliliters, and they have sat at 68 degrees Fahrenheit for just over 30 minutes. I have these skewers, and I have tied pieces of polyester and cotton so that we can test how the wicking of the liquids changes with the material. Alright, so as we can see, the cotton has absorbed the alcohol and the water and is starting to absorb the honey. And then on the polyester, it has absorbed the alcohol but is still being resistant to the water and the honey. Viscosity and wicking are related through capillary action, which is the ability of a liquid to flow in narrow spaces or tubes against the force of gravity, just like a straw. Viscosity is a measure of fluid's resistance to flow, and it affects how quickly or slowly a liquid can wick or move through these porous materials. Polyester has fewer pores than cotton, and therefore less air circulates through a piece of polyester than cotton. In general, fluids with low viscosities, just like the water and alcohol, tend to wick more readily than fluids with higher viscosities, like the honey. This is because fluids with low viscosity have less resistance to flow and can more easily penetrate narrow channels or porous materials like these fabrics. Fluids with higher viscosities require more energy to flow compared to fluids with lower viscosities. When a fluid is flowing, energy is needed to overcome the internal friction or resistance to flow, which is determined by its viscosity. Viscosity can also cause energy losses in fluid motion. As a fluid flows, it experiences internal friction, which can result in energy dissipation in the form of heat. This is known as viscous dissipation or viscous heating. When a force is applied to the fluid, like these fabrics, it deforms, and this deformation requires energy. Fluids with higher viscosities exhibit a higher resistance to the deformation, and thus require more energy to be deformed. Creativity is essential in experimentation. I had to design a way to set this experiment up and imagine various factors, such as the liquids and the fabrics to use, how the temperature could affect this, and how to submerge the fabric while also being able to get them out. I had to think of what errors can occur to ensure reliable and meaningful results. Creativity is an important mindset that drives experimentation forward and can lead to breakthroughs, advancements, and new approaches to push the boundaries of scientific and technological knowledge. I use the scientific method by asking myself how the viscosity of each fluid would affect the wicking time, creating a hypothesis that states higher viscosity fluids will wick more slowly through porous materials compared to the lower viscosity fluids. and then I set up the experiment to see what would happen, and I will come to a conclusion and see the results of the experiment, and I will state that in my results summary. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely day.